So 3 years ago today, on April 20th, 2010, the Deepwater Horizon drilling rig in the Gulf of Mexico exploded and began as a human tragedy when 11 men lost their lives, and as the rig continued burning and eventually sank a few days later, the largest environmental disaster our nation has ever seen began, and there was an unprecedented release of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. There were the images of the pipe head, the well just spewing oil, gushing oil from the seafloor in the Gulf. So we're here today to memorialize that event and work to show that the people are here to hold BP accountable, and we want to see the Gulf restored.
So today we're going to make a few different formations out of some concerned citizens that are going to come out, and just to show, visually and raise awareness for what's going on right now today, and where we've been in the last 3 years and how we're still trying to recover. So we're starting off, we'll be making the number 11, which is to represent the number of people that passed away because of the explosion.
Those sons, those brothers, those fathers, never coming home because BP was cutting corners and gambling, basically rolling the dice with their lives out there. This was a rupture in a geyser at the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico that ultimately put out 4.1 million barrels of oil, topped with 2 million gallons of toxic Corexit. A huge challenge for the Gulf. They're just not coming to the table and not agreeing to make it right, despite what their slick ads are telling you.
Next we'll be doing a 200, which represents the miles of oiled shoreline that's still out there. Yes, 200 miles of oiled shoreline is still out there today, 3 years after the spill.
We're still seeing oil wash up on our shores. They're digging up tar mats, even to this day, 3 years later.
And then we ended up with Restore Our Gulf, Restore Our Future banner, just a pretty banner that was made with handprints from hundreds of school kids who want to make sure that we've got an ecosystem for them into the future and their kids into the future.
So we need true restoration for the Gulf Coast, and we need our leaders within the Restore Council, the President, our governors, to really do what they can to move this process along so that restoration can happen across the Gulf Coast.
They need to make it right. They need to spend the money necessary. They need to be found grossly negligent, because clearly they were grossly negligent. They were cutting corners, and in doing so created this environmental disaster.
It's more than just a PR campaign. It's, this is our life, and this is the Gulf Coast of the U.S.
There are so many projects that we can fund and ensure are working to rebuild the natural resources of this incredible and unique environment in order to support the beautiful cultures and communities that we have here along the Gulf Coast.